Well, hello, boys and girls. It's when I feel like 8 o'clock. I'm Pearl of Wisdom, and you're listening to my NHL Pearls of Wisdom. It's really in the Sunday morning. I went to bed early last night. Had a little bit of a headache going on, so here I am. We in Canada here. I don't know if this is around everywhere, but the time goes back an hour, and it happened last night. So I ended up getting an extra hour of sleep. Guess what? Headache gone. Good living. The universe is fantastic. Really enjoy it. Okay, let's look at. We only have 2 games on the sked. And oh yeah, first of all, we have to remind you, I'm in the bathroom because I had a little bit addiction problem. 8 months clean almost. Yay. I had to reevaluate and redo things in my life. So I have some people living in this environment that makes it not very private. Wherever I could do the videos out here, I might wake someone up, or there's people walking around everywhere. But we're going to have that change because there are people out there, wonderful, wonderful people who are hitting the subscribe and the bell, and we're going to become YouTube sensations together. We've worked this out. And I'm going to travel all across the United States and Canada. I'm going to meet all of you. We're going to rent cars together, limos, go to the games, even get a private jet. It's going to be called we haven't decided yet. You could tell me in the comment section, is it going to be the My NHL Pearls of Wisdom private jet or the YouTube Sensation private jet? I kind of like the YouTube Sensation private jet because we're sensational. We are. It's going to be so much frolic, and all you got to do is hit the bell, and we'll bring glee and joy to the world. So that would be great. Okay, let's look at some games last night. I went 8 for 13. There was actually 14 games, but I didn't do the St. Louis, Minnesota one. Now, I did put in the comments section that the reason why I didn't do the game is I wasn't sure who was going to be in net. I was going to take St. Louis for sure if they weren't playing Allen. I found out late that Allen was going to play, but I still wasn't comfortable with the game. However, I put down in my comment section yesterday, Minnesota is a good chance to make some money on the line with Allen in net. Although I never said that they were going to win or not. And they lost 4-3. But for my other games, I was 8 for 13, which is not too bad. But there's some reasons for that. And I'm going to start correcting those reasons starting today. So let's go into what happened here. First of all, Mike Wilkerson from Parts Unknown. He wrote me some letters yesterday about how who's going to be. Do I still think that there's going to be an over because Subban was going to be in that, which we'll talk about. And I said yes, and he won some money, boys and girls. And the Carolina game, he was asking him if I'm sure that was over, and he won some money with that. My over-unders tend to be very, very good. My Calgary game was under. I said it was going to be under. It's probably my best quality, besides my stunningly good looks. Okay. Oilers got outplayed all the shit, still won. I had Pittsburgh. Oilers are my team, and I bet against them because I care about you. Not my team. I care about you, boys and girls. Preds played Saros in net. There's a good example. That was supposed to be Rene all day, and then they threw Saros. I would not have taken the Preds if I would have known Saros was in net, and I would have been accurate. Bruins versus Ottawa, I nailed the score. Just wanted to say that. It was 5-2. Islanders, okay, I got it wrong, but I wasn't sure about the game. But I did nail the under. Again, nailed the under. Devils played Blackwood instead of Schneider. That was a back-to-back, and they played Blackwood both nights. That is not looking good for Schneider. They've been a struggle with him, and they just have no confidence in him anymore. I have a feeling that Schneider may go the retirement route soon. He's basically untradeable. I don't know what they're going to do. Seriously, put him down in the minors. Get his confidence back might be a good idea. It's the only thing keeping the Devils out of the playoffs this year is goaltending. Hopefully Mackenzie Blackwood, for their sake, turns out to be what they need. He's a pretty young guy though, so it's going to be hard to. It's kind of hard to say if he's that. And if they want to keep Hall, they're going to have to make the playoffs. Hall's not a kind of guy that's going to sit around and wait. He wants to see action. He's that type of player. Oh yes, okay, so the Golden Knights, again, Fleury gets the flu at the last, I took the Golden Knights to win, but not with Subban in net. It was a no-brainer with Fleury. Subban goes in net because Fleury gets the flu. So what I'm going to do from now on, boys and girls, is you check the comment sections. I'm going to keep an eye. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you. You help me. Actually, help me by putting in the comment section anything you find out about players being injured, coming back from injury, goaltenders being changed, all of that stuff like that. We can help each other out and be a community. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the comments down there in the bottom because this is really ticking me off. We should know this stuff, and it's screwing up my picks. If I would have known this, I would have been, 10 for 13 at least? 11 for 13, something like that? If I would have known these little pearls that they hold out on us. Fleury just happened to have a flu an hour before the game? Highly unlikely, right? Well, it wasn't an hour. They had to call Subban, and then everybody was wondering why. And eventually, they said, oh yeah, Subban's going to be playing. Way too late. Way too late. Okay. We got 2 games. Flames versus the Capitals and Blackhawks versus the Ducks. I have a tough time with this. Flames versus the Capitals should destroy this game. Talbot is in net. I'm not sure about Talbot. The last game he was fantastic, actually. And when he was with the Oilers, he was not. But of course he had a poor defense in front of him. I'm taking the Capitals 3-2 tentatively here. Also, they have Holtby as a projected right now. So hold on to the ticker. If they're playing their backup, who, on the top of my head, I can't even remember who it is now. Oh, yes, it's Samsonov. You know, which is a young goaltender, which would make, if they're playing their backup, I'm probably not going to bet this at all. But if they're playing Holtby, I'm going to take the Capitals 3-2. Blackhawks versus the Ducks. Blackhawks are in a back-to-back. They don't look confident at all right now. In fact, Coulaton, I think it's Coulaton, young coach who looks like could be good, but he's got some growing pains to go through. Benching Seabrook was probably not advisable. I know Seabrook doesn't look good. I know that. I see why he did it, because he wants accountability. But this guy has been a warrior for them for years. Embarrassing him in front of people is not a good way to get backing in the room. And it looks like it's really hurt him. The team just doesn't look good. On the other side of things, we have Dallas Eakins with the Ducks, who I loved. When he was in Edmonton, I was like, they fired him. I was so upset. I was like, he's very progressive. He sees the game outside of the box. He's really good. What I love with him is he makes sure he reminds me of Tortorella. He makes sure his guys are in shape and they're ready to play. He's very Tortorella-ish. Gibson is supposed to be in net, and the guy is lights out. I could see this being a shutout, but I am giving the Blackhawks 2 and calling this a 4-2 game. Well, boys and girls, that's my full 42%. That's all I have to give. I got a nap to do. I'm going to my spiritual advisor today. Spiritual advice. I've just all of a sudden forgot my spiritual advisor's name. It's a Loomis Blackwater, and she's fantastic. Have a great day. Lots of love to you.